from the last episode where I did the yokes just to have a look at how they'd actually fit or whether it would be okay. It seems to be viable, so at the moment I've just put them back on the original, so back to the original handlebars. Today I've got a lot to do. I've already started prepping a few bits. Basically going to strip down most of the bike. It needs an oil filter change, oil change, caliper, and the exhaust needs to come out as well. So without further ado, let's get cracking. Alright, so as you can see, I've already taken off the side fairing. It's basically bolt here, here and here. You need to undo, there's a bolt in the inner fairing and there's a bolt that sits further down here that takes the fairing out. I've already taken the end can off. I can get some light in there if you can see. Right, you can just about see, it's just behind that metal hose is the oil filter. It's really difficult to get to, and obviously looking underneath you can see the state of the exhaust. It's basically rusting away, so it looks as though that's going to need to be replaced. So lots to do, so as I say, I'll probably split this into a couple of parts. First bit, we get this caliper off. So it is basically the same as what you've seen me do before. I've already loosened these off. So with this, I'm basically going to work from this side, work down the bike to the back, and then round the other side, and then back up, because there is quite a lot to do. Right, let's get this caliper off. Right, not too bad, pads are okay. Just need to pump the pistons out a bit and just give them a clean through. So I just need to take this, these screws out of the backing plate. Alright, hope you can all see that. Basically there's a R-pin. There we go. There we go. There's the pin. That will need a clean up. Pads just drop out through the bottom. So I'll give this a clean out. Let's pump these out slightly. Alright, just get some brake cleaner and wire brush. Main problem I can see at the moment is the pistons on this side here don't seem to be moving. So I need to try and free up these three. Alright, I now managed to get these out a bit. I mean, if it comes to it, I might actually swap these out. I do have a set, another set of 6 pots. Right, well, I pulled off the first caliper and it was pretty seized. I managed to free up one side, but the other side is just solid. I even put the spreader in there to try and retract the pistons back in, and I actually snapped the spreader. So that's not a good sign. With that in mind now, that's kind of made my mind up that basically even if I wanted to sell the Busa in the state it's in, I can't. Yeah, at the end of the day that comes down to my fault. I've hardly ridden the bike in the last 2 years. I think this year it hasn't been out once. Last year it went out twice, and one of those trips was actually to the MOT station. Other than that, it's just been laid up. So with that in mind, as I say, basically the decision has now been made that the Busa will stay and the Street Fighter will go. I have to narrow down on the bikes. I'd like to keep all of them, but it's just financially it's just not feasible. So basically I'm going to continue on with the Street Fighter. I do have with the Hayabusa. I do have a pre-built set of 6-pot calipers which have already been completely stripped, rebuilt, painted, etc. So I'll look at that as an alternative. Obviously I'm going to have to drain all the brake fluid anyway, because obviously if I'm going to go to the higher bars with risers I need longer brake hoses, and obviously clutch as well, so that'll all be done. So yeah, the decision's kind of been forced onto me, but kind of my own fault. So the Busa will be staying. As you can see, it is mostly stripped at the moment. I'll do the other caliper and then I'll start working back. The exhaust has got to come off because that is pretty rusty under there. If I can get you in a good enough angle. As you can see, that's the only problem with a bike that's basically covered in plastic. I say, I did notice quite a lot of oil, especially around this area, which is where the side stand sits. So that's going to have to be traced back. I'll have a look at all the coolant hoses. If it comes to it, they'll actually be taken out and replaced. So we've got the oil cooler down the bottom, that's got to come out. The radiator at top, that's got to come out. So yeah, I'm basically going to continue on as a complete strip down, work through, change the bars. As I go, I'll look at it of whether I put the fairing back on or whether I go for a fighter look. I don't know, unsure at the moment, but yeah, it looks like the Busa now is the way to go forward. So unfortunately, yeah, the fighter, it's been fun, but as I say, I don't really have the time. So basically I won't sell it as a complete. I'll actually break it up and sell it in parts. So there'll be full parts listed within the next few weeks on eBay. As soon as they are listed, I'll put a link in the description. Anybody's interested in parts. I have plenty, so. But so I'll be cracking on with the Busa. So thanks for watching. Sorry that one wasn't as informative, but obviously it was informative to me to actually see what needs to be done on this bike now. So I'll be continuing on with this. This will now turn into basically a semi-project bike. It is due for its MOT. It's not going to make that yet. The MOT is due quite soon. So it's just going to have to stay off the road until it's basically done. Everything's gone through. So we'll go through basically the brakes. I will strip a caliper apart and basically start from scratch, show you how to do that, and slowly work through the bike. But obviously I still have the Z650, which is a big restoration project to do, but obviously I need to get this one finished, get the Street Fighter out of the way. The ST is done and sorted at the moment. I just need to save a bit more cash so I can start the next stage of that. The Varadero's been done, that's not due for another service for some time. So, but join me again in the next episode. Thanks for watching, cheers, bye.